Give me your ranking of Travis Scott's discography from worst to best.
All right, so absolute worst, I got Huncho Jack and Jack Huncho. That project with him and Quavo was absolutely terrible. Al Farrell wasn't bad, but I just got to work with the placement of this because you had a big single like Upper Echelon on there. So that was a good project. Birds in the Trap is number 3. Rodeo is number 4. Days Before Rodeo is number 2. And Astro World, baby. I got to go with Astro World. Astro World is Astro World.
Okay. I was a little similar, just, little changes.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, Huncho Jack Huncho, terrible album.
Terrible.
Just it didn't give us what we thought it was going to give, right? His debut project, Owl Pharaoh, like I'll never forget. When I first heard it, I enjoyed it. And Upper Echelon, like you said, was like a fucking amazing song, but I didn't get it, right? Number 4 for me is Birds in the Trap, Sing McKnight. It's kind of like an outlier in like his discography and everything like that. Like I enjoy it. And it's just like a easy listen. Like you don't gotta really think. You just go through the fucking moodiness or whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Rodeo is 3rd. Astro World is number 2. And number 1 is Days Before the Rodeo. The shit that started it off. The shit that had us raging at any venue that we went to when we heard that shit.
Yeah.
Like this is Days Before the Rodeo was such like a fucking moment.
Yeah.
Like I wish I could fucking capsulate that shit and revisit it anytime I want to just to have a good time.
That was a moment. I'm not mad at that ranking at all because I went to the Days Before Rodeo show at Webster Hall and I remember how big that was with him and Young Thug. $35 fucking tickets.
Son.
Like when are you gonna experience something like that again? And I remember feeling like the floor was about to collapse because he was performing Mamacita. Man, that shit was insane. So I completely get it. I just think for stadium status wise, Astro World just took it there for me.
I get it. And I also I went to that show after you,
mm-hmm.
and I went to go see them perform. And this was when I wasn't fully, I wasn't 100. I went more for Young Thug than I did for Travis Scott.
Mm-hmm.
But I left that motherfucker Travis Scott fan because
back
then his stage sets was crazy. He had the fucking eagle back then, bro.
Yeah, he did.
So that's what I'm saying. How much he cares of putting into his showcase for a rapper is pretty fucking impressive. And I just think that Travis Scott really knows what he's doing and building things.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, guys, let us know who list you like better, mine or Regg's.
Welcome to Rap in Order, the interrogation of a hip-hop album, where we take some of the culture's most beloved hip-hop albums, put them on the stand, see if they stood the test of time. Now let's see who we got on the stand today. Welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
I'm Taurian B.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing okay, man. Today's the hottest day of the year.
Yes, and it fucking feels like it. I wasn't ready. I don't think I went summer shopping yet. There's still some shirts and shit I want to get. Some shorts.
Yeah, Instagram keeps telling me to buy shit.
Yo, these Instagram algorithms, I can't get with it, but it's always in my face, man. I see a lot of shit. I have a lot of shit saved actually that I'm gonna get. But I do have a good collection of shorts that I got coming in.
Shorts?
Yeah.
I guess I could always just get some new shorts or whatever like that. Birthday's coming up in July, so I gotta get some stuff.
Ain't you doing a trip, right?
Going back to Disney World.
Oh, let's go. Oh wait, when is Memphis?
I gotta figure out that trip. I gotta figure out the dates. But I want to go to Memphis as well.
Okay.
Because I gotta go to Graceland. I want to go to Elvis's house.
Okay.
I want to go to Elvis's house and I want to go to Bill Street.
Well, yeah. Okay. Those are the main two.
Okay. So I had to black it up for you a little bit.
Yeah. Because you saw. Did you realize that? I was like, oh yeah, okay, Elvis.
Damn. I mean, you like Eminem?
Yeah, but I'm not a diehard. I'm not a diehard Eminem fan. I respect him because he put on for the city.
I mean, Elvis put on for Memphis.
Juicy J put on for Memphis. All right.
I mean, but like Memphis got put on the map because of Elvis.
I'm not giving that to him. But anyway, today we're getting into somebody that not put on, but he actually helped uphold, how people saw Houston. They helped he helped with ushering in that respect for Houston for a different generation, I should say.
Okay.
This guy, Travis Scott, he released his second studio album, Birds in the Trap. And that's what we're getting into today. And like you guys that are listening, it's tradition for us to like kind of come up with the albums that we're gonna do, and T kind of champion for this one. And I thought it was kind of interesting because we're going into Utopia. We don't know what to expect yet. So this is before that, obviously before Astroworld. Very different place for Travis. This was 2016. Mm-hmm. Still establishing himself, still on Grand Hustle Records, still on Epic. What were your thoughts on this album when it dropped?
When this album dropped, remember, like he kept saying it was coming. Mm-hmm. So like we were like waiting, and because of the PTSD that we had from Rodeo, because Rodeo had so many start and stops.
Yeah,
we were just like, yo, we're never gonna get Birds in the Trap. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of like explaining like what he was doing, and when it came out, like the singles, people loved the singles, but it kind of threw people off. Like this was kind of like his 808s or his Jesus.
In what sense?
Because everybody was following what he was doing with Days Before the Rodeo and Rodeo. And then he made this album, and it was kind of like, because basically like it was completely different. Like he took a turn. Mm-hmm. So some people it's a polarizing album. Like you either hate it or you love it. That's why I say it's his 808s and his Jesus. When this album like came out, it like a lot of people was like, yo, like he regressed, like lyrically, like, but it was more so like an ode to Kid Cudi. Mm-hmm. Like this entire album, he said that Kid Cudi saved his life. Yeah. Kid Cudi's one of his favorite artists of all time, his idol. Mm-hmm. So when you listen to the project, obviously you can tell and you find out like, oh, this is an ode to Cudi. Like this is what he's doing. But a lot of critics, a lot of critics had a hard time enjoying this project because it took a hard left turn from where he was going with Rodeo. Mm-hmm. They thought he was going to continue the Rodeo series, and that's why I say like it's similar to with Kanye, because remember he had the college, the dropout.
Yeah, the theme, series, and then
So they thought he was going to keep going. They thought he was going to do Days After the Rodeo next and shit like that. And Travis was just like, this album came out of frustration. The label gave him such a hard time, didn't believe in his vision. Mm-hmm. He said that he was going to do something completely different. And if I'm not mistaken, he did this. He created this whole album while he was on tour, and that's why the features are so not all over the place. They actually all fit into his world, but it's like just artists you wouldn't think that he would be able to get to, and it's kind of like a combination of just different nights on tour, and different moments.
That I agree with that. I think he did take a sharp turn. Now that you actually explained it, I agree. I think with this one, it's heavy on his melody. There's more emphasis on the auto tune. But then what I really do like about this album is that he uses it in a way that he didn't do the other one, where like Rodeo was like teased in a way that like we were supposed to get to know him a little bit. Like you got a song like 90210.
That's absolutely what
that was a little more personal. But then on Birds in the Trap, it was kind of orchestrated like he's working with these people. He was inviting these people to his world, like you said. Mm-hmm. And what was so cool about it was that on the re-listen, I was like, okay, you have maybe 2 songs on this album that's just him. Mm-hmm. The rest is like, I don't want to compare him to like a DJ Khaled or anything like that, because it's not on the deep end like that. But it's very much orchestrated. So like I thought he was gonna start pivoting into that world where like he brings people to his world, orchestrates, produces, even writes for them, because he has some songs on here that he wrote the whole thing. And I think with I want to say there's a song with Bryson Tiller it was, that he wrote the whole thing, and there's a reference track. Bryson, right? Yeah, I have a whole I don't really. That's how I feel about Bryson. Bryson had such a strong fucking start. Trap Soul was like. And then the decline was crazy. But anyway, no, sorry. So actually, SDP interlude, he has some background vocals from Cassie. And there's just people in here. There's people in here that I think he had specific positions for, and he lived up to it for that. Like there's people in here that you would have noticed if they weren't there because he intended for them to be. And I like that for it. I think this album was super intentional. At the time, it was really big. That's why, like years later, I guess in the fold of Travis's career, a lot of people don't really fuck with this album. I didn't see that till later.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. I don't know if you remember this, because he really does interviews, but he did it, and he went to Hot 97 and he took over Ebro in the Morning. And while talking to him, he was explaining that he wanted the album to be like a play, and he was actually going to try to produce a play, but he realized he said that he can't stay still long enough to do that, and like it couldn't like follow a theme because he really wanted this project to be as chaotic as possible. And he said that, so he was like on tour it just wouldn't I mean, he was like, as a play it wouldn't work out that way. So that's why like he presented it in that lane. But I wanted to talk about something that you also mentioned, and I think a lot of people don't like. A lot of people either don't remember this or know this. Everybody thinks that he signed as an artist to Kanye, but like you said, he signed to Grand Hustle. He signed to T.I.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that it goes over a lot of people's heads because like obviously like T.I.'s not like standing next to him with his arm around him or anything like that. But like he's T.I.'s artist, and I think
T.I.'s all over he's narrated Rodeo.
He narrated Rodeo, and I think that like people don't understand like how much of a good ear for music T.I. has. He had Young Dro, right? Like Young Dro had his stardom. People say what they want. He had Iggy Azalea. They could say what they want about Iggy Azalea. She's a crossover artist. He had B.O.B. B.O.B. crossover artist, had a huge song with Bruno Mars, Beautiful Girls, and like his Down for the Count song and everything like that. And if you just look at Tip's track record with signing artists, like I mean, he did it. Like all you need, if you sign Travis Scott, you're set. Yeah. Like so, he had 4 artists that were like crossover artists, weren't in his lane. Like Travis Scott kind of took trap and made it something different. Yeah. But he expanded on the sound, and I just think that it's impressive. And I don't think that T.I. gets recognized enough. Like a lot of people talk about like the other labels like QC and Griselda, and they talk about Top Dog, but like I think that Grand Hustle is one of like Travis Scott is his main flagship artist. That's his flagship artist. Yeah. Travis Scott's your flagship artist. Your label is in the conversation. I don't care what you say of what he can do for other artists. Like if I was T.I., I would be bringing artists in and like Travis. I need one track. Yeah. One track for this person.
Is he still with Grand Hustle?
He's still with Grand Hustle, but like now he has his own Cactus Jack imprint, and where he signs his own artists, and he actually did kind of what RZA did, where like he takes it to different labels and gets different deals and stuff like that.
So. Oh, got you. Because then I would essentially because Grand Hustle is under Epic. Okay.
Well, that Grand Hustle deal with Travis Scott is through Epic. But like, Grand Hustle is like his own imprint as well, and like has other deals and shit. Like
Okay.
I just think it's impressive, and I just think that a lot of people just think that T.I. is a guy that says big words.
Now he is, but he's more than that.
Yeah, I just be wanting people to give my man his flowers. Man.
I do too. T.I. is one of my favorite rappers of all time. Like I say that all the time, and people just have selective memory, man. They don't remember that in 2006, T.I. had the #1 album and the same and movie at the same fucking time. Like T.I. was really him. But anyway, on to this album, even down to like how dark it is, like the album cover, the artwork. There's it's downplayed a lot. And when I looked at like even the way it's stylized, the artwork with it, on the front, and even the way that the tracks are written out. Like the tracks are all like, I don't know if you noticed this, they're all lowercase. But then you look at Astroworld and it's all big. It's all in caps. And I think there's something to be said about that too. It's just like the energy that he's bringing or that he's in.
It's intimate. I think like obviously Astroworld is his stadium album. Right? That's his graduation. And with this album is more so like he can go into like a small venue and perform it, and like he'd be satisfied with that turnout. He doesn't want I don't think he wants a big audience for that. Even though like some of these songs, like Pick Up the Phone is a fucking
a banger.
Yeah, bro. I throw my head through the wall listening to that shit.
And it almost didn't come out. That was part of his frustration with the label, like how you mentioned, was that they kept fucking around with Pick Up the Phone. Pick Up the Phone was supposed to come out way before it actually did, and he ended up just putting it on his SoundCloud. He put it on SoundCloud, and then he took it down. But then that was in the era of like niggas was like blogging was just insane at that time. So people already snatched it. People heard it already. It leaked. It was a sloppy rollout. Yeah. But it came out and it was a hit. I mean, you had Thugger on there. You had Quavo.
That was when everybody wanted Quavo to go solo.
Yeah, that's when people called him Beyonce.
Yeah.
People called him Beyonce of the group.
He ain't Beyonce no more.
Nah, it's over for that.
That's fool's gold.
Yeah, it's over for that. But on this album kicks off with The Ends, which features Andre 3000. And at the time when this album came out, none of his features were listed. You just would listen and you would have to just pick up on who it is.
Just be surprised.
Yeah. And I was listening to this, and by the way, it was produced by Vinyls and Wonder Girl. Wonder Girl was on fire at this time. She did a lot of shit at this time. But this song in particular, when people talk about Andre's features run, this never comes up for some reason. I realized that the other day.
I really think it's because when people listen to albums, they usually look for the name and they go to that track. So it's like, unless you really listen to this album, you don't even know. Yeah. But I just thought that was dope that Andre gave him like an amazing verse, right?
Yeah. Very dark verse.
Yeah.
Dark song.
Yeah. And Travis's flow was great. It's fucking chef's kiss. And the beat switch.
Oh yeah. When Andre comes on, and even when he's talking about like with he's talking about the kid murders in the late 70s, early 80s. You know about this in Atlanta? It was tied to a guy named Wayne Williams, associated with him, condemned for 2 murders in 82. So like a lot of the subject matter that Andre's talking about, because obviously he's from Atlanta,
he was a kid,
is having survivor's guilt from those murders happening around that time when he was a kid.
Yeah, like, and that goes to Andre 3000's genius. Most rappers, they would just rap about the present, but like Andre 3000 is like very reflective and like to think about that, like, yo, like, damn, like I really lived through that. Like I can't wait to I don't know why, but like, and I guess because like a lot of our New York rappers that are our age, like they've already done it, but I want to hear somebody like reflect on like remember the New York City blackout? Were you in New York during that time?
I was. You know what's funny? I was visiting New York when that happened.
Okay.
I was living in Detroit, but I was visiting.
Like, yo, like during the New York City blackout, like it was mayhem. So like I had just made it back to Atlanta before all of that shit happened. But like my friends was telling me that like shit was crazy in this area, and like some of my friends like they got into like fights and shit like that, and like somebody died. Like it was crazy. Because it was a fucking blackout. Motherfuckers was fighting in the dark like fucking maniacs. Yeah. But like I just think about that, like, yo, if I was a rapper and I got into that, I would do stuff like that, like reflect on like, damn, like I might have been with my dumbass friends outside, you know what I'm saying, doing silly shit like that. Like
that's actually cool as hell. That would actually be dope as hell for a rapper to reflect on times in the 2000s when we was kids.
That's what
because these niggas have done it. Like we got the OGs that are reflecting. They're not doing nothing wrong. They're reflecting on their childhood. If you get somebody like, I don't know, Joey Badass, for whatever reason, he raps like he's in the 90s, stuck in the 90s, and he's our age group. Like, he's younger than us. Yeah. Like, he could be rapping about shit like that.
Yeah, I just think, like hearing, like, knowing that, I'm like, damn. Because, like, you've heard rappers, like, rap about, like, being a child during the Son of Sam summer. Yeah. Summer Sam, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, like. Yeah. Why wouldn't somebody, like, that was, like, the New York City blackout was a huge, like, that's just, like, how, basically... shout out to Hip Hop turning 50 this year. People talk about like the New York City blackout from the 70s. Most DJs got their equipment that summer because they broke into music stores and they stole turntables and they stole speakers, and like pretty much like that was for that blackout, that was the birth of hip hop. Yeah. It contributed to it, you know. So yeah,
that's true.
Sorry for blaring.
So you would have to.
Make a good combo about
that. They would have to enjoy. You guys would have to know.
Y'all enjoy this.
We veer off. That's what we do. But I think you're right. Like I would love to hear shit like that. But then going into Way Back is another interesting song. It's produced by Hit Boy, and you got some ad libs on here from Swizz Beatz, who kind of ties it together a little bit. It's a good song.
And Kanye, we in the house.
He got the little the sample from Rock Boys. It's a good song. It's one of those things, and that we've talked about a bunch of times before about like rappers getting to this point where they just get paranoid, which needs to be studied. That because it comes up a lot. The whole I can't get no rest. I fall asleep with a tech. Whole shit.
I think that's just like a survivor's remorse thing for people of color.
Yeah.
Because athletes feel the same way.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of athletes go through that shit. Like, think about it. Like, you become rich and, like, your entire family, like, everyone in your family comes to you with some story about how, like, they just need to borrow something or they got some plan or they want to tell you what business you should open up or whatever like that or what you need to do for Big Mama.
Yeah.
You know?
Everything, everything gets put on your plate after you get successful.
Or strangers just trying to like come up off you and shit like that, or like telling you how they have a plan. So I think like all of those variables like come into it. But I do like how like the verse where because Harden was on the Rockets at this time, so he's like James Harden with the range, nigga, get way back. Like, I just like that. Yeah, I like how he says that shit. It was kind of dope.
And then you got that leading into Coordinate with Black Youngster, and it reminded me like.
Where the fuck is Black?
Where the fuck? That's exactly what I wrote down.
You and me both. What Black?
Like what the fuck is he doing? And I started to go to his Instagram. I knew I would probably see a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
but
he got some shit on there.
His trajectory was rapping. Like he just kind of he found like a formula where he would be funny on Instagram, be funny because he was a funny guy. But then he was gonna use that to put attention on his music, and it just didn't work out. People was just like, "Yeah, nah, nigga."
I thought he was gonna go into stand up or doing movies and shit like that. Like,
he
was funny.
I thought so too. He's really funny, and but I think he offers something to this song.
Oh yeah, him opening this shit, talking shit, talking about wearing like the rock star skinny jeans and shit like that. I thought that was hilarious.
They had interviewed him. I saw some interview around when this album dropped, and they asked him like, "Oh, like yeah, like how's it working with Travis?" He was like, "Oh yeah, he hit me up, whatever." And at first I didn't believe them when they told me that he wanted to work with me, but I was like, "Oh, bet I'm gonna write something." He was like, "Well, nah, I just want you to talk shit." He was like, "All right, like I just want you to talk your shit." Good. So we got the best of that because he kicked this off proper. It's nice.
So that nigga just talk your shit.
He said, "Nah, nigga, we don't want them bars. Just talk."
Yo, it's crazy because it's like there's like a good it's a good run of songs, right? Because the next one is Through the Late Night, which I love. It's just fucking humming at its best.
And you can't have Cudi without some humming.
Yeah, nigga, like this was just like a nod to him. And like when I was like researching it, like I watched Anthony Fantano's review.
Oh, of this?
Yeah, I don't think Anthony Fantano likes anybody's music. I'll be honest, I've never seen him just like love somebody's shit.
He loves Kendrick.
Okay,
loves Kendrick.
Yeah, he does.
He gives him like a 10 out of 10 almost. Well, no, he gave To Pimp a Butterfly, I think. Or was it? I forget which album it was. He gave it a perfect rating.
Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah. He loves Kendrick.
Like I know that he's very big on lyricism. I am too, but he's a very hard, like he's a hard grader, but like hearing him rip this song apart, I was like, come on, bro. Like, what else do you want from Kid Cudi? Like, I swear to God, if I was musically inclined, like, I would make a song where we want to say a word, nigga. It would literally be us just humming and shit like that.
Yeah. They had interviewed, tidbit from this one, they had interviewed Travis, and you kind of said it already, like, where he said that he saved his life. But Travis went as far as to say, in my whole career, all I wanted was acceptance from Kid Cudi. So that was kind of cool. And then it made me think, too, they were supposed to have an album together. It never came out. It was called The Scots.
Well, we got they put out a vinyl, and it was,
of the song,
of just the song or whatever like that. I'm pretty sure like it was schedules.
Probably, I could see that. But that one takes us into Biebs in the Trap. Biebs in the Trap features Nav. Again, when this album came out, none of these names were listed. All
right. So please tell me that I wasn't the only person that thought you see Biebs in the Trap and you think it's Justin Bieber.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was getting to. Because when this album dropped, like I said, like none of these names were listed, and then it wasn't far fetched to think that it would be Justin Bieber because Justin Bieber was just on Rodeo.
Yeah.
For Maria, I'm Drunk.
Yeah, for Maria, I'm Drunk. I listened to it and then I'm just like, damn, this don't sound like Justin Bieber.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he using Drake's flow? Like, he was using Drake's flow from Madonna.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. But I did like this one. A lot of people hate Nav. I don't know. I don't really hate him. It became like an internet thing to just hate Nav.
You think when Khaled's son grows up, he's gonna like Nav?
I can see that. He does look like he could be related to Khaled.
And that's not even like being like racist or anything like that. I'm dead serious. He looks like
just
Khaled.
Dead ass looks like him. He dead ass does. But no, this was good. Biebs in the Trap. After you listen to the song, you realize the reference is just he's just referring to Coke as Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I have a question for you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you had to think of songs where Coke is like referenced, do you think that this is up there with like those songs?
No, I wouldn't even think of this song. I wouldn't think of this song. I have a whole Coke playlist.
I know,
and this
like,
ain't on there.
All the girls standing in line for the bathroom is a good one. White Lines.
Oh yeah,
White Lines is the GOAT one.
White Lines, or Blurred Lines. You mean?
No, White Lines.
White Lines. Who's that?
White Lines.
Oh, yeah.
Running through my mind.
White Lines. White Girl, Jeezy.
Yeah, you got that White Girl.
Christina Aguilera.
Yeah. Any clips in Pusha T song?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's
like,
some good ones.
Nah, bro. Like, there's some good songs about Coke, man.
Yeah. I wouldn't even have this on there. Yeah, you're right.
That's so funny.
But SDP interlude.
Smoke some, drink some, pop one.
Yeah. This is a good interlude.
It's a good interlude. I'm gonna be honest with you. Listening to this song, hearing these songs be played at Apartment 78 made me realize that we knew a lot of drug addicts at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
No, let me say that back. I'm not calling them drug addicts, drug users, drug abusers.
Drug abusers is good.
Yeah. Not drug addicts, drug abusers. Because man, I was fucking pretty and naive.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood why the line in the bathroom was so fucking long. It's like, yo, nigga, just go outside, nigga, go around the block, pee outside.
What a fucking time.
Yeah, bro.
The tidbit about this, so I did mention that Cassie did background on this. Apparently, Rihanna did background on this at first. Because this was around the time he was fucking with Rihanna.
Yeah, that's around the time they was there.
Which feels like a fucking blip. It feel like it never happened. Yeah. Nobody ever talks about it. You can probably find a couple pictures, but it's like it never fucking happened.
Did I tell you that story?
About what?
When I saw Rihanna and Travis Scott together, and I tried to take a picture of them, but Rihanna's security guards had the thing to flash, and that shit flashed me so like crazy, like I thought I was blind.
What, they flashed just so you wouldn't get the photo?
They had these things like because they would do it was during Fashion Week, and like it was by like it was like by 20. It was between 23rd Street and 25th Street. Mm-hmm. And you know where that park is at, like right by. So it will be 5th Avenue, but like the park is there, so all that stuff is blocked off. And there's like a building, and like there was some after Fashion Week party. Mm-hmm. So I went there, and I never do shit like that, but like I was like, nobody's gonna believe me if I tell them that Travis Scott is fucking Rihanna. Like I just felt like I had to get a fucking picture. So I would like get my phone like this, and the security guard must have fucking saw me, and immediately like I was like, yo. Like,
it's crazy that they did that and didn't just come up to you like, "Hey, yo, my man."
Nah, he just looked at me and was like, and just pointed. It like that shit was mad funny to me.
No, you probably still have like a big ass flash in your phone somewhere.
Nah, I just got rid of it. I was so embarrassed.
I would have kept it like, yo, I was trying to take a picture of Rihanna and Travis. That's what this flash is. But yeah, that's mad funny. So getting into, I want to know your highlights from this album. I know we started on going track for track, but I don't want to. All
right, no problem. So look, I'll tell you right now, Goosebumps. Pick up the phone. Mm-hmm. Obviously through the late night. The ends. Mm-hmm. And Way Back are like my absolute like highlights. Like I don't care where I'm at. If I hear it, like I don't stop. Mm-hmm. Like it's just like those songs like are just standouts. I put those in like some of his best songs ever.
Yeah, category. Yeah. Goosebumps. I forget who it was that was talking about Goosebumps. I want to say it was probably Irv Gotti. because you know how he gets when he talks about music.
Oh yeah.
And he really focuses on the rock star vibe that Goosebumps has, where it starts off very monotone. He's just saying the chorus, and then I get those goosebumps. Like it's just, I've never seen him perform this, but I know it's special just off of the energy that this song has.
It is.
Yeah.
I forgot I took Sarah to see Astro World, and like it was like one of the greatest shows that I ever seen.
And like on that breakdown, he got something got to be exploding or something. Like it's just I could just see him performing it and just shit just going crazy.
I was just shocked because I thought he was going to only perform Astro World, but he still like incorporated like.
Oh yeah, he has to because actually
no. The night that I went, Lil Baby and Gunna was there. Nah, I missed it. The night before that, he had Kendrick come out and they performed Goosebumps at Madison Square Garden. I was pissed. I was like, Kendrick Lamar's in New York? Like, I thought he just didn't even, like, leave California anymore.
One of my favorites on here is definitely Wonderful with The Weeknd. It's a great closer to this album, too. Because they just talking about how up they are. They talking about both having bad bitches, getting money, where they are in their life. It's very 2016. It very, like, and it also made me realize how much of a good streak Travis is on album closers. Yeah, he Coffee Bean with this. I forget the other one that closed out Rodeo, but he's on such a good streak. Like he understands how to open and close out.
Yeah, Travis definitely understands that.
Through the Late Night is a great one. Outside, yeah,
that's crazy. I thought that was gonna be the first song that you said.
Oh, because of 21.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm not that big on Outside. Sweet Sweet is my shit.
Sweet Sweet is a very good song.
Sweet Sweet might be like my favorite one right now.
Whole Sweet Sweet got a whole lot of drug references.
Yeah, it does.
I'm sorry, I'm a square, y'all.
And it was produced by Murder Beats, by the way. But then and the ends obviously coordinate with a Black Youngster.
It's hard when people tell me that they don't enjoy this album. This album's not that good. I really find it like hard to believe them, and I'm like. Is it that the album's not good, or is it that like you wanted it to be more in the vein of Rodeo? Because this album don't suck. Like this album's not bad. It's just that like Travis just gave you like another side of his of what he's doing musically, and I think that some people are just stuck in their ways. Like it's weird. Like I'll give you a prime example. And sorry, listeners, you know I champion this guy. A lot of people say that Pusha T only raps about coke, right? He doesn't switch it up. But then you have an artist like Travis Scott where like he keeps the subject matter, but he changes his sound. Or he changes like the instruments that he used. So like this album had like the way he used autotune was completely different from how he used autotune on Rodeo, right? Yeah. So he switches up small things and you kind of like and it's less personal and it's more of an experience. And like they get upset and it's just like, well, what the fuck do you want? Do you want him to just... Because I guarantee you, if he kept making rodeo-themed albums, they would get tired of that. Yeah,
they would. It's only but so long you can go with a theme before people get tired of it. Yeah, I mean, but then again, you know, I don't know. Well, it's not a theme, really. I was going to say West Side Gun is up to like 10 Hitler wears Hermes type.
That's a theme to me.
You think it's a theme?
That's a... Bro, like...
He's up to 10 of them.
Bro, I tried to do... I was thinking about ranking that nigga's albums. No, the fuck I am not.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, bro.
That's a whole job.
He has more music than Tupac.
That nigga... He got 25... No. He... At that time of Pray for Paris coming out, he had 25 projects.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And he's retired 3 times already. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, he's...
And I think it's funny because he be retiring it, and I think nobody be like...
Everybody be like, okay.
They be like, all right, cool. You're giving us more than enough music, bro. Like, it's cool. Like, you know, when's Benny coming out? Yeah. And then next thing you know, he could boom, 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 boom.
I'm back.
And then Conway is pissed, like, motherfucker.
Yeah, because he know his shit getting pushed back. It's crazy, man. But yeah. So getting into, let's see. Okay, what are your misses on this album?
First Take. That's it. I hate that song. I like fuck Bryson Tiller.
Yeah, Bryson Tiller really, really let me down.
Yeah, man.
Trap Soul was so good, and it
Kentucky Fried Bitch.
People, Kentucky Fried Bitch is great. What is that?
He's from Kentucky.
Oh, okay. So that one is that simple. But all your insults lately have been very different. It's been some very different insults.
Because man, like I have to dig deep. I have to make sure that like my insults aren't personal because these are my friends.
Yeah,
But
you called our friend Losa waterhead bitch.
Well, you know why I called him a waterhead bitch.
No, I don't.
I called him a waterhead bitch because all right, ladies and gentlemen, I have my Apple, my iPhone on auto update. So I thought it updated, but apparently it didn't. So specifically in our one group chat, we have a combo group chat. For some reason, from Monday until like Wednesday or some shit like that, I can send them text messages. They can see my text messages, but I couldn't see anyone responding. So I go into another group chat where some of the guys are, and I ask, I'm like, yo, what's going on in the group chat? I posted somebody being like, yo, T, did you update your phone? They start trolling me saying, we ain't nothing to talk about. We don't know. And I'm like, nah, something's weird. So, like, I start hitting up other people. Like, I didn't even tell Regg because I was like, Regg probably don't even know what's going on. So I
caught up later.
I hit up Ed. And and like I said, Ed like a screen recording, and Ed sends me one back. He was like, "Nah, T," and then Ed is like, "Yo, I was wondering why Los is being so nice to you, and like saying nice things to you, and like you not responding." And I was like, "Yeah, man." And then I hit up Courtney, and then the first thing Courtney says is, "Oh man, you got the iPhone bug." And I'm like, "The iPhone bug? That fucking waterhead bitch Los did this to me." And then Courtney was like, "I don't know, bro." And I'm like, "What?"
And Court be the first one to like get like a fucking beta. His phone just gonna pop. His phone gonna sizzle and pop one day.
So like I'm just like going crazy because it's not happening on any other group chat, like in any other text thread, just in our group chat. And maybe it's because we talk so much in there.
Yeah.
So I'm like livid, and then like I'm going off, and like everybody's like gaslighting me and shit, and I feel like I'm going crazy. Right? So then somebody finally says, "Yo, T, just update your phone."
Yeah.
And I do it, and it works fine.
And it's fine.
And
I actually but what's funny is when I was catching up on the chat, I wasn't seeing the problem. Like I saw your shit just fine.
No, I didn't notice. See mine, but I couldn't see anything that y'all said.
Okay.
So then I was like, well,
and it was just funny because I saw in the chat they were responding to you, like you just wasn't seeing anything.
Yeah. And it's like it came off like they knew that I wasn't in the chat properly. Like I'm like, hey, good morning, guys. Yo, Ed and Kellen, congratulations on Miami Heat making the finals. Like, all of that shit. I couldn't see nothing. Yeah. And, like, I was telling Sarah, like, yo, my friend's not responding to me. And she ain't give a fuck. She was like, so what? Like, y'all talk every day. Like, take a break. They probably don't want to say nothing to you. I was like, nah, man. I feel like Johnny's behind this. Somebody did this.
Yeah, I think so the only track I don't like... Okay, so First Take. What do I have for Lose? Yeah, I'm not that big of a fan from Lose either. I'm not that big on that one.
I like the instrumental.
Instrumental's good. The instrumental on all these songs are pretty good. And Guidance, I'm not that big on either. I get the whole vibe of it about like it being going into like the reggae theme.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. I think that was a Rihanna throwaway.
This could have fit. This could have fit into Anti. This was the same year. Yeah. You're right.
I feel like he gave that to Rihanna. She was like, I don't want to.
I already have work. Yeah.
And he was like, oh, with Drake.
With Drake. Okay. And he just kept it.
Rihanna is fucking cutthroat. Bro.
Yeah. Like, no, I don't need it.
Yo. Speaking of Rihanna, I completely forgot about Tiana Taylor and Rihanna's beef.
Oh, yeah. What a wild time. A wild time.
You know Rihanna started it, though.
Did she, though? What'd she say?
Tiana Taylor posted a video on social media singing Anita Baker's The Rapture. Mm-hmm. So Rihanna had her stylist put on, like, curly wig.
Oh, I remember. And dressed like her.
And sang the same part that Tiana did. So...
Okay,
Tiana was tight, and then remember around that time, this was post the Rihanna and Chris Brown like fight. Mm-hmm. So then Rihanna just started going off.
Yeah,
and Chris was with Karrueche at this time. So like remember like basically just Tiana just wouldn't stop. Like she just, and this was like when social media was like a thing. So like Rihanna put up her net worth versus Tiana's net worth
as her background photo.
As her background on Twitter.
Yeah,
and Tiana like kept talking her shit. And then that's when it bled into Karrueche and Rihanna beefing, and she kept calling Karrueche rice cakes. Rice cakes.
Yeah.
And shit like that. It was just like a whole cluster.
She took a picture of like rice cakes and like at her or some shit. I was like,
and I just thought like it was just really funny because like that could never happen now.
No.
And the fact that Tiana was able to do that shit and like she's doing fine now and the fact
that and the fact that Tiana took a photo, she photoshopped herself holding Rihanna's head, and it was Rihanna's mugshot from when Chris when they had that altercation.
Yeah.
And like holding her, I was like, "Oh, holy shit!"
And
like
Tiana
this
was
is
fine. Yo, me and Sarah was arguing because I'm not arguing. We were debating back and forth because she was like, "It definitely affected Tiana's career." I'm like, "How?"
Nah, it didn't affect her career.
It ain't affect
nobody
her career.
pins that to her career.
Yeah, nobody pins that saying that she made it fun of like an abuse victim and all that shit. Like, no, she did not. Lo and behold, Chris Brown, full circle. Chris Brown kicks her out of his birthday party because she didn't look out for him at the American Music Awards.
Oh, is that what that was? Is that why?
A lot of people are saying like that's why him and Tiana had beef because he was upset that pretty much because like Tiana like coordinates like all the choreography and like a lot of music for a lot of shows.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And Tiana could have gave him a heads up like, yo, they're gonna ask you, bro. They're not gonna like hold you down. But maybe Tiana did know. Maybe it was above her pay grade.
I could see that happening. I could see that. But those are the only songs on this that I don't like. Like I said, this was
I agree with you too. Like on the same 3 songs that
for
you
Guidance.
Said,
yeah. This was a very like well put together album. Like I said, like it felt like a theater. It felt like he really just ushered in all these people to be like, yo, I need you here, I need you here, I need you here. I need this produced this way, I need this produced this way, I need this note this way. Like I felt like he really orchestrated this as well as he could for that time, and it was just a palette for him to do that.
And he was able to get exactly what he wanted.
He even had a radio show at the time on Beats One.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, where he, Apple was just trying to pop off with Apple Music at the time, and it was giving everybody fucking radio shows.
He had a show. Drake had a show.
Frank Ocean
had a show.
Yeah.
Blonde. His was called Blonde Radio, right?
Yeah, Blonde did.
Who else had a fucking show on there? I think Madonna had a show.
Q-Tip,
yeah, the
Abstract Radio. I still listen to Abstract Radio. I just go back to the episodes and just listen. But no, man, I think I am interested to see. So, given how we've broken this down, I'm interested to see what your rating is.
It's hard to rate this fucking album.
I know.
I'll be honest with you,
but I have one in mind.
I ain't gonna hold you, listeners. I'm playing it safe. I'll give it 4 out of 5 waffles for this project. Like it's a solid project. I think he purposely made this project an outlier. And yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I gave it a 3.5.
Woo! Wow.
3.5 out of 5. Wow. I think
hard critic Regg.
He's really good at hosting other talents. I think if Travis did something like this more, because I never looked to Travis for lyricism. I always looked to him to see what he can do overall with a song. Like, it still blows my mind what he did with Sicko Mode. Sicko Mode is a thing of the past now, but when it first came out, hearing that song split into 3 different ways like that and creating 3 different vibes it just blew my mind. And like for somebody to do something like that is special. It's not the first time we've seen that, granted, but on that scale, probably is. It was such a big song. Damn, but then with Birds in a Trap, you have moments like that show themselves on here, like on the ends where the beat switches up when Andre comes in, gives you a different vibe. But I think the intent on this was so good. The intent was to work with all these people and bring them into his sound and make it as enjoyable as he did. It was great. I just think that the 3 tracks that I don't really care for are like, and also I've been kind of spoiled by Astroworld in a sense, where I feel like this was the precursor to that. And we got Astroworld and it was like the diamond in the rough.
Yeah, I just think that this album was like his abstract album, a step away from like what we're used to. I
do enjoy this album a lot. So 3.5 is not a bad rating when you're scaling to 5. So just remember that. But I do encourage you guys to listen. I know all of the viewers. I mean, we reviewed Astroworld in the past. I'll encourage
rodeo.
you. And we did rodeo. So I do encourage you guys to go listen to this album, see how you feel about it today, and let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like, interact with the content. I'm First Class Reg.
And I'm Taurian B.
We out of here.
Catch you guys next time.